curved path segments. Are you ready for it? So in the previous exercise, you saw how to create straight path segments just by single clicking with the pen tool, right? Well, this exercise is all about curves. And as I had finished saying in the previous exercise, this is where people usually have trouble with the pen tool. I remember myself trying to wrap my brain around how this actually worked. So hopefully I'll be able to kind of walk you through this in a fairly simple manner here. I'm going to zoom in on my project file. I'm going to zoom in on the creating curved paths area there inside my file. And as you can see here, everything is about curves. So it's going to be a little bit more involved. It's going to be a little bit trickier here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of walk you through the first one here without actually creating anything with the pen tool, and then we'll actually go and do it. So we're going to have a third element or a third aspect of our paths introduced here. You know about anchor points and you know about paths. Well, what happens when we create curved paths is we get this third element called a direction line. And the direction line actually controls the curve. I'll explain how this works in just a second. And creating curved paths is all about clicking and dragging. So straight paths is all about single clicking. Curved paths is all about clicking and dragging with the pen tool. So what I'm going to do here on this first guy, as I say, is I'm going to walk you through the motions and then we'll actually go and do it. So what I would do here with the first guy is I would start off on step one. I'm actually going to zoom in a little closer so we can see this here. There we go. I'm going to start off on step one. I'm going to click and drag over to my left, over to the red beach ball. Okay? Once I have that, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my cursor down to number 2 and click and drag to the right over to the blue beach ball. And what that's going to do is that's going to create a curve that curves to the left, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'll explain how this goes as we move along here. Okay, are you ready for it? Here we go. So what I'm going to do is I bring my pen tool up to number 1, click and drag. Don't single click, click and drag. And as soon as you click and drag, you get the direction lines. These are the direction lines I was telling you about. And the direction lines are like a seesaw or a teeter-totter, right? I drag one side up and the other side goes down and vice versa, right? So I want to drag my direction line or my teeter-totter over to the red beach ball, over to the left there. Perfect. I hope you got that. Okay, great. Next up, I'm going to bring my cursor down to number 2 and click and drag now to the right over to the blue beach ball. I get the teeter-totter happening there again. And I also get a path, a curved path, connecting my 2 anchor points together. Do you see that guy in there? And the idea here again, I haven't let go of my mouse just yet. The idea here again is that the direction lines are going to control this curve. As you can see, I drag the direction line up and that pulls my curve down. If I drop my direction line down, now my curve is kind of arcing upwards, right? So that's kind of the idea there. And we'll play around with these guys more so you get a feel for how they work. But that's at least the first attempt anyway with creating our curved path. So I went ahead and I dragged over to the blue beach ball and I let go, by the way. Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and deselect by holding down Command or Control and clicking away inside some white space. And I'm left with this nice curved path segment. I hope that worked for you. Now, what you might want to do is you might want to pause the video and practice this a couple of times so that you have this happening. And then when you're ready, we're going to continue on. We have 2 more curve exercises to go. We have this wavy line happening here, and we also have a closed curved object, this oval or this circle. So we'll tackle these 2 guys next.